It's time for the Cease and Desist podcast.
Hello, boys. How we doing today?
Man, it is hot.
Pretty good. It
is hot.
I'm enjoying it. It's
moth season.
I'm gonna say it is moth season. This office has more moths, I swear.
Check this out. I'm watching the news last night, which I don't really usually watch the news because
Old man.
it is what it is. I know. I just happened to catch it.
Local news?
Local news. The lady goes, "Hey, it's going to be 100 degrees tomorrow, and hopefully your air conditioning doesn't break." And guess what? My air conditioner is broken.
No.
It is fucking broken.
And you're trying to sell your house.
You know the trick to not having your air conditioner break?
Don't have an air conditioner.
That's the plan I'm on.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a swamp cooler.
What's that like at 2 a.m.?
It's not good, Andy.
Yeah.
It's
Sean,
not good.
Sean switched his wardrobe to fishnets, so it's very breezy.
It's helped a little bit, not a lot, but a little.
Cotton doesn't breathe as much as fishnets. That's where he goes.
So yeah, I am now
the woman who said that to me over the news is now my sworn enemy. 'Cause I blame her for that. Hopefully your air conditioner is broken.
All you got to do with your home showings is just early in the morning,
Yeah.
and that's about it. Yeah.
Everything looks good. It's clean.
I'm paying somebody to walk around with a giant leaf. So as people walk around the house, they just fan them.
Comes with the house.
Genius.
Yeah.
Are we filming this? This sounds really good.
You know, I'm
Get a
actually thinking
server.
about a startup for it. Yeah. Come fan your client.
Biodegradable leaves.
Who wants to introduce this man? It's hot in here for one reason only.
You want to introduce him?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pumped about the episode just because we have not yet had a carrier on the show, and this is a good opportunity to bring in an InsurTech startup carrier from actually one in which we're pretty close to. So we have Mr. Steve Reffitt over here from Branch. He's the head of agency. How you doing today, Steve?
Good, gentlemen. Pleasure to be here.
Yes. And tell us where you're based out of.
The Columbus, Ohio.
Buckeye country, man.
Insurance Mecca.
I
With
told
the D in.
Steve when he came on the Zoom, and it's weird. I've never had this before. I've never had, one of my senses go off with a video call, but I was able to smell a hint of money when you came on. And I think it's because you guys just closed a $147 million Series C, making you officially a unicorn.
Woo!
Congratulations, man.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Do we have a
Thank
cha-ching
you.
sound effect?
That does not come easy. I know from experience, and the grind that's behind the scenes. We call it behind the press release, right?
Yeah.
It is real. So congrats to you and the team.
Sounds like it's going to be a fun celebration party.
Yeah, where are we
Got
going?
a couple bucks to spend now.
We'll figure that out. But it's been a great week, and I think we mentioned it before. We just got to do the right thing with it. But we did take the time to celebrate it with everybody in the company on Friday of last week. So it was a good time.
Did you have like an ice cream social? Like what happened? Like you?
Yeah, that's good. No, so credit to our people ops team. They put together these gift baskets and had everything sent out to
Rolexes. all
every.
that good stuff.
Right.
And lo and behold, all the money's gone. So
Yeah, right. All of a sudden, we now can operate. But yeah, so we did. We did a celebrate via Zoom with everybody in the company. We had some confetti poppers, and everybody got a mug, and so it was really cool. And
Better be a
popped
nice
some
mug.
champagne. Yeah, it was good.
yeah, man. That's what's up.
What part did you play in the whole process of fundraising?
Yeah, just the
Sit
agency
back.
channel, right? I mean, that's it. I didn't do any of the talking, any of the pitching. I guess if you say part of the work, small part of the work behind the scenes to, show the growth and do it profitably. And that was my role in it.
Very cool.
Yeah. How long you been at Branch now? Because you've been there for a while. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, branch years like 30,
Yep.
but normal, yeah. Human years, November of 2020, which was effectively when we launched with independent agents.
Wow.
It
Really?
was one of those things. Yeah, we didn't, and I say we because at the time we weren't sure if our product, to the point of the conversation about Colorado insurance prior, would adopt this name, address, and bundle solution.
Yep. It's
and so,
weird. I can't imagine agents would want to quote faster. That's, what a weird concept.
Yeah.
They like to spend 45 minutes sometimes to feel important.
Yeah, so I guess that's the question, right? Like, aren't agents just used to doing this same thing? I mean, it's the same reason you guys exist.
You pull out your
Like,
piece of paper, you take your paper app, you go online, and then you transcribe it into one system. That's fun.
You wait for the client to get back to you because inevitably they don't know their wife's driver's license number.
If they had extra time, they'd have to get out of the office and go get leads. And so if you do this, it makes you feel very busy.
Very busy. You
so-
tinker with a replacement cost estimator and you jump between systems. And
What's the $250 deductible? What's the $300 deductible? I don't know.
What if I take away the water sewer backup?
What if I did 55 on the towing instead of 45? Does that get me closer on this deal to sell it?
Sounds like a
Spicy afternoon, Sean. I like this.
I had a
This
busy
is
day.
nice. I like that breakdown.
That was one
perfect.
client in 4 hours.
Yeah,
That's
right. And then they're off to farmers.
I got to go home.
Don't forget, I got to stay on the phone with them for 30 minutes to build that rapport. It's very important.
My God.
Steve, where were you at before Branch?
Yeah, I had a stint with Applied Systems. I built a national partnership program for them. Great company, by the way. A bunch of good people there too. And then prior to that, I was on the carrier side. Built a distribution channel for Mafre Insurance. It was a captive distribution channel. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mafre, but they're out of Spain. They're actually one of the largest insurance companies in the world.
Yeah.
And so they were trying to replicate their captive model from Spain in the U.S. I think they've had some struggles doing that. But we built that up, and then ultimately I kind of sold our operation off to a AAA outfit here in Columbus. But that's kind of the short version of it. And then, landing at Branch, I'll kind of take a minute to say, it's been a blast, right?
Yeah.
The speed, the pace of a startup, if you separate Branch and startup. But then just the uniqueness of what we're trying to do here is it's really cool, and it's a lot of fun, and it's fun to be in the leadership spot of driving all that.
Yeah, I was gonna say with that was why I asked where you were at beforehand, because I saw it on your LinkedIn. Like those are three very different style companies, probably very different ways they operate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
very different.
Yeah, super different.
Yeah, and I give Applied credit, being the most recent. They're really through COVID, they didn't let anybody go. I think they even gave additional funds in some of those situations.
They didn't allow them to leave.
You stay in your cage. Get in here.
Yeah. So it was a good stint. I enjoyed it, and you're right. There's a lot of different things I was able to learn and take away because it drastic cultural shifts, kind of what you were alluding to, right? And then also operationally how they do things. Yeah, it was good for me.
How was that transition for you, specifically going from working for a larger company to go into a startup? I feel like in our experience, and maybe traditionally when you're working for a larger company, corporate company like that, and then you make that pivot, it's tough for some people to kind of get their bearings, if you will. Like, I can actually do that without anybody yelling at me. Like, what? There's not 9 bosses looking over my shoulder. Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, it was actually pretty easy. You could take this tagline many different ways depending on what shows you watch. But I'm kind of built for speed, right? I like the uncomfortable, and it was a really easy transition for me. I think for me, it was just the path that I was headed on, and it landed me where I was supposed to be. Ultimately,
Probably the podcast title, Built for Speed.
Well, I think you live your life 1/4 mile at a time, it sounds like. So you're like the Dom Toretto of insurance. That's you now. I love it.
What a compliment.
Steve, do our audience a favor. Paint a picture of the layout of the company. See what's HQ like. How many people there? What's kind of the departments within? Talk to us about the structure.
Yeah, no, I think the structure is a really cool piece, and I credit Lekis and Joe. And so for those that aren't familiar, Steve Lekis being our CEO and Joey Mission being our CTO, within, if you want to call them silos or channels, they really wanted to give us ownership of our channels, right? So you'll see head of across the entire Oregon. And we just updated our titles to be VPs or head of. And that was really because the external market doesn't know what that means. And so it was just kind of a label to make it make sense. But headquarters were based in Columbus. We've got also a semi-headquarter in Chicago. We've got one floor on the Hayden right there in downtown. We'll soon be opening up a second floor. There is no requirement to be in the office for the most part. We're a remote company. Most of our leadership team is in Columbus. We've got one in South Dakota, another in Chicago, 2 in Chicago. And so to kind of transition to, we've got a product team, a sales team, agency team, growth or partnership team, right? So you talk about embedded insurance, which was the, main reason that Branch existed, or at least, was founded in 2017, is they had this vision that we can take this process, condense it into 5 seconds, give you a bundle and we can embed this into all of these transactions, right? Which is, a lot of digital agencies are trying to do. And you guys have done a form of that. Like, hey, let's bring all this together and allow your clients to service in this moment through, whatever outlet they prefer. And so, we have, and I hate using the word silo because we don't work in silos. I mean, it's a great company and the way we bring everything together, but, we give ownership in those distribution channels or those segments of the company. And so that's probably the best way to explain it, I think. And we are looking or potentially talking about, other office locations because we want, where we have hubs or, parking spots, we want, those swaths of people to be able to come in and work together when they want to.
That's great. How many staff members over there?
Yeah, so I think we're up to, as far as total employees, we're right around 420.
Wow.
450.
Wow, it's bigger than I thought.
Yeah. So, and that's happened, I was in November of 2020, I was employee number 43, I
Nice.
think.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then, any given day in the Columbus office, we could have anywhere to 30 to 50 people in there. A lot of our data team, we've got a really good, strong data and finance team. A lot of kids, honestly, just out of college.
Yeah. Did they all go to Ohio State? Do you guys only recruit from Ohio State, or what's up with that?
No, we do get some tax benefits for hiring in Ohio.
Right.
But you're probably not wrong if we were to do it.
Well, they're the smartest people on the planet, right? Because they went to Ohio State. They're Buckeyes.
I mean, yeah. I don't want you to hate the Ohio State Buckeyes more than you probably.
Does Michigan? Do Michigan people write policies to Branch, or do they hate you guys?
They're not supporting that state.
Right. There's no way I could do it.
Ryan, how did you discover Branch? Do you remember?
Well, we were introduced to.
I think I connected with somebody
with this,
and then we got on, and I was confused as to what it
with
was.
the CTO, or maybe we met you guys out at InsurTech Connect ITC in Vegas. Could have been.
I think you met Joe out there.
Yeah, it might have been Joe. And then we've talked to Joe since. But
I think that's how we got turned on to.
And you
Branch.
tried their system, and I remember your reaction. You're like, check this out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That
After
was
we got
awesome.
off with Joe, I was like, I gotta check this out for myself because I don't believe it. I don't believe this sorcery, and so I did it. And I was like, holy shit, man,
Willa,
this was awesome.
Willa, go get a quote with Branch right now.
Yeah, let's see how long it takes.
I bet you'll get it done
let's do
in
this.
the next
Yeah.
60 seconds.
Let's time this while we're talking.
Yes.
So while we're talking, so Steve, walk me through the dynamics between the direct to consumer versus the independent side. I know you focus on the independent side, but what was the big decision in starting to go to agents? Like, how did that shift happen? And now, what's the breakdown on the direct to consumer versus independent business?
Yeah, so I think the shift was just, it goes back to kind of mission and principle philosophy that, we want to be able to offer lower cost insurance to everybody. And depending on what publication you look at, 60% of the market is still seeking an independent agent.
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
They still want to write their business. They want that trusted advisor. And so I think there was maybe limited knowledge with the existing team that was here prior to like me coming on. And there were some others, our head of product, Ian's worked with independent agents forever. But, if that type of product would work in the agency space. And so it was really a trial.
Yeah.
Right? Like, can this work?
Yep.
And so today, we should eclipse 50 million probably in the next 3 days.
Wow.
In the agency space. And so, I'd say the true launch on the agency space, once we got up and moving and truly getting some market, was probably mid-year of 2021.
Yeah.
So it's moving really quick. And so the part of your question where what's D2C, D2C is much lower than that.
Sure.
Even on the monthly inbound, because, going back to our mission being that trying to get insurance back to what it used to be, which means, hey, when you pay for insurance, right? Like you give us that money, we've got to do right by it.
Yep.
Right. Which means we're not going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to go attract consumers that ultimately we're going to return that cost to you at some point because, hey, we had to market to get you.
Yep.
And it's going to cost you more down the road. So, for us, partnership and agency kind of take precedent at the moment.
Sure.
But we'll always have the direct outlet there so that people can get bindable insurance the way they want.
I love that, man. What's the pushback that you guys get from agents? I can't imagine there's much.
That's what I was curious about.
I feel like there's still some agents that we talk to. I know a couple in particular that are pretty turned off by InsurTech carriers, right? Because for various, very of reasons. But What's the main pushback that you guys see from agents on bringing on your product?
Yeah. So, look, Ivan's is finally going to go live. That's been
So you guys are going to download, which will be nice.
We are.
Yep. I'm sure my dad griped at you about that.
Surprised you even took him on without
he
that.
did it.
I can hear him now. Shout out to Mike. I can hear him griping about it right now.
That was like the stipulation. It had to have downloads.
It doesn't download.
Yeah. So the biggest one, Ryan, is going to be comparative raters.
Sure.
We're not in them. And we're not going to be in them.
Well, I don't think you need to be in them, and
because it's so simple.
Your value proposition is quote us first. It takes 60 seconds.
You'll know if it's a niche.
If it's not a rate that you're looking for, we don't have the product fit, then go rate it with your rater, right? I think that's your guys' mentality, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Rid of these other losers.
Yeah, and the part in that is we're trying to juggle and understand is in that moment, because look, we want it to be that way, name, address, and bindable bundle, but we're also pulling in your current BI limits, right? So if you're an agency that wants 100, 300, and you don't go in and change that, so we're trying to give you all the data to educate your consumer, so we may not get viewed as the right price when you jump into that rater to try to do the thing that you've been doing for years.
Yeah.
And so once they've reached that rater environment, are they still thinking about branch? Are they still remembering that price that they got initially? And so to your point, the win is get into branch initially. You can get through the entire quote and build out all the options you need in 60 seconds. 15 seconds, you're going to have a number.
It actually wasn't 60 seconds.
No, I'm sorry, man. We just have to report back on what just happened. It actually took 50 seconds.
50.2 seconds. 50.2 seconds to do a quote.
Screenshot that and tweet that.
It was not 60 seconds. It was 50 seconds.
Built for speed. Holds true.
And also for comfort. Because I feel comfortable.
Willa just bought an auto renter's package, so there you go.
I love it. We just sold policies while we're on this call.
Nice. Thank you, Willa.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. Like, that is a testament to what just happened. Like, do you want to go tinker in your rater for 45 minutes, or do you want to get a bindable rate that fits your agency standards for quoting guidelines? Underwritten, bindable quotes in under a minute? Like, if I was an agency that wasn't representing branch, I would be afraid, because that is something that you can't replace. That's speed of doing business, and that is what being an insurance agent is about for certain products, right? I'm not talking about middle market commercial and highly complex products that Carruthers might work on, right? I'm talking about small commercial and personal lines. It needs to be fast, it needs to be efficient, because you've got a very short window with that consumer.
Got to make your tea time too.
You got to make your tea time. Are you talking about English tea or actual golf?
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, while you're tinkering around for 45 minutes with that quote, your client's going to shop direct. That's the reality of it. So it is what it is. So again,
Steve, let's talk competition for a minute. I'm sure this is a copycat league, right? A lot of companies are trying to keeping up with the Joneses, if you will. What are you seeing with regards to competition? You don't have to name names, but are they trying to emulate the same thing that you guys have done?
Yeah, there is one that has tried to emulate and do very similar. We've kind of built out a mental map of when a carrier or somebody else will catch up to us, right? And so our solution to that is iterate on our current setup with other products. We're going to launch condo here soon. Motorcycle won't be too far around the corner. Dwelling fire products at some point. And so those are the way we stay ahead of the game, just like anything, right? Like you guys are in the same box. Somebody's going to try to catch you.
Rollerblade insurance, need to insure those rollerblades. Get those done. Yep. Like that.
Yeah, if we can capture the data without an agency having to put it in, we'll find a way.
I don't know if you'll be able to see Sean's speeding tickets he got rollerblading. I don't know if that pulls in
fast.
MBR.
Fast.
You have the lightnings, don't you?
What's up, everyone? This is Sean Mulhern here with the Glovebox guys and the Cease and Desist podcast. I wanted to talk to you guys about my days as a sales agent in the insurance space. We all know that the independent carriers have their own carrier apps, which is fantastic. However, they don't get used. They don't get used because the relationship with that client was with me. I hunted down that business. I marketed. I got the referral. I handled this. I made sure they had the best insurance, the best package. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't send them to the carrier apps. And do you know why? Because then I was a ghost in the process. When they're logging into the carrier apps, are they seeing my face? Are they seeing me? Are they seeing my agency? Nope. If there's a bad experience there, do you know what's going to happen? They're off to Geico. They're off to Esurance. They're off to the internet brands. I want that experience to be captive. I want it to be to me. I want them seeing my face and my brand, which is why we created Glovebox. Steve, I got a question about when an agency puts the info into branch. Let's say, the data comes back and it just isn't a good fit. Can they use that data to help them with their rate or with their other quotes?
Yeah. So contractually, they cannot, right? And that data is meant to be for a branch customer, branch action, if you want to call it, right? Taking action with branch is kind of how I say it. And so, that data is for that purpose and that purpose only. We've been that's a great question, right? We get that from agents, especially those that it's worth noting, our API team has done a really good job. And I think that's also why we integrated with you guys so well and so fast. Those digital online experiences.
Yep.
We've had some try to build in where they can, hey, wait a minute, branch does this. Let's extract that data and roll it into these other carriers. And we kind of had to pull a hard stop on that. So, agencies are trying to do it.
Yeah.
I think the part in, your standard shop, Main Street agency, that's a lot of work. If you want to go in and handpick all that data and do it, it's going to happen. But technically, no, we'd prefer not. Yeah.
Now, you guys had a feature that I thought was badass, man. Essentially what it did is after I bought my policies, it popped up and said, hey, why don't we help you cancel your current policies?
Yeah.
Which I thought was fucking awesome.
Now, I know that was on the direct-to-consumer side. Have you guys brought that over to the agent side?
Yeah, it should be live with the agents within the next few weeks.
Oh, God.
That's so cool.
Stress-free switch. Yeah.
Do you want to explain it a little further? Because I think it's a selling feature for sure.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you bringing it up.
Yeah.
I may have forgot it. So when you get to the end of, it's basically, think about taking the quote that you got online and just repurposing that within the agent portal. And so when they get to the end, we pulled all their current carrier information.
Yep.
So we know the carrier, we know the policy information. And so literally the agent will just check a couple boxes, and that would be the home and the auto. And so post-bind, we automate everything, right? You get an automated email, e-sign it. And so the one thing that's really cool with us is that it's one checkbox and it signs every piece of information, right? All documents are signed with one checkbox. So if you select a stress-free switch, it'll obviously in that book of information or book of documents that need signed, that stress-free switch says, hey, sign here to cancel these policies. As soon as we get that back, we built, and the reason it wasn't rolled out to agents prior, Ryan, is because we had to manually do all of that.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So now we can automate it through, I think we use EasySend, but automatically send that to the carrier. Now, the loophole there is we've got a couple carriers.
Sure.
Who
won't accept it.
Right?
Yeah.
You got it,
Yep.
right? And so,
Yeah.
we'll work through that.
It rhymes with
It's
Ryko. Who doesn't take it?
It seems like the next move would be if the agency quotes the insurance with branch and for some reason it doesn't fit. You've already got all the information. Why not just generate the BOR forms right there?
Yeah.
I'm never quoting again. I just throw stuff into branch or I BOR it. That's how I work.
I mean, if you
Done in
take
55
a
seconds.
look at the spectrum of what you guys have created for agents, and specifically agents that maybe call on lenders or real estate agents, and they have to get quote proposals done quickly and efficiently, why wouldn't you just make branch your first experience for those referral partners? Say, look, start here, man.
Yeah.
This is where you can plug in the info. You can get a quote right here. And by the way, you can put that rater right into Glovebox.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
customize it for that lender.
We can actually populate that right into Glovebox. You can customize it for that lender, assuming they send you enough deals. You gotta
Yeah.
hold them
There's a
accountable.
qualification you better ask, right?
Yeah, but you want quick quotes? Cruise into my app. Boom. There's the branch quoting platform, and you can fill it in. Is it customer facing like that? Can an agent make it customer facing, or does it have to be the agent plugging that in?
So we can actually extend a quote or an offer in the moment directly from the platform. So I can input it as an agent, and then I can hit it it's called copy quote link, and I can send a digital interactive version for you to have and make the purchase and do the setup all by yourself.
You'd already have to have the data.
Can you
Yep.
turn around your branch quote capture to a prospect? Meaning, let's say you came to me for insurance and
You're on the golf course.
yeah, I'm on the golf course, of course, or at tea time,
Tea time
with the queen.
English tea.
I said, see, if I'm going to send you this, you fill it out, and then you'll get a quote. Can I do that right now as an agent?
Yeah. So we, our version of that is it's called our partner lane.
Yeah.
And basically what it is think about that UI experience that you have if you go to ourbranch.com.
Yep.
We basically replicate that, put the data behind it that will attribute all of that interaction to the agent,
Yep.
right? Quote offers, and they can buy directly through the agency, and the agent
Just be
never
white
has to touch
label. That'd be
anything.
cool.
So what you're telling me as an agent is I can have 50 glove box platforms out in the market, white label to each lender with my branch quote capture in every single one of them.
Matter here, guys. I'm going to sell
Yeah. Yep.
I just created $100 million agency.
Yeah. Let's go talk to some investors.
Again.
Let's go.
Wow. I love that.
Super cool.
Let's switch gears a little bit.
Can I switch gears first? Because there's a very important question on
Yes.
this.
Oh, go ahead. You switch gears.
The guilty pleasure was ice cream and all sorts of
Oh, yeah.
candies. I'm actually curious about the ice cream. Do you like ice cream or Dippin' Dots?
Yeah, great question because it's not Dippin' Dot.
Oh, okay.
there we
Well,
go.
we differ there. I like Dippin' Dots.
You do.
Yeah,
I think they're delicious.
I do like.
Yeah.
I do like Dippin' Dots, but when I think about when I wrote that, I was thinking Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen, all right.
You know, Dairy Queen is an oldie but a goodie, man. I love it when they turn the cup over.
yeah.
That's their thing.
Have you
reality.
ever seen it fall?
Never.
I've actually seen it fall once.
I have seen it fall once as well.
I've seen it fall
They
once.
accidentally double cupped it.
Oh, that's different.
So the better question is, when it fell, what did you do?
I screamed at them. But I left. I was irate.
Refund my money.
I was
That
irate.
blizzard is
It was
garbage.
the one reason I went to Dairy Queen.
Like, watch this, son. Watch what they do.
I don't now feel comfortable about my blizzard because it fell.
I'm getting a McFlurry.
yeah. I love to Cold Stone.
We always have this debate in the office, and this is very specific: Skittles or Starbursts?
Oh wow!
Hey, it's important stuff right now.
That's a good one. That's a good
No, I
question,
mean
man.
this is
They're like almost the
serious.
same.
Look
but
at
not
he has to
quite.
think. This is very important.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going Skittles.
Yes.
I think I'd probably go Skittles
I love
too,
Skittles.
yeah.
I like Reese's. It wasn't.
that wasn't
it
the
wasn't
question.
an
But it
option.
wasn't. But I wanted to add the third option because I can't choose
Yeah.
between the other two options. So I always feel like my tooth's
It's gonna fall out with Starburst. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm shooting a
can see
glass.
that. I can see that.
Last question on branch, and then
We're gonna take it to the questions that you're gonna ask.
Oh,
that we
it's
ask
on me.
everybody.
which
All
is gonna
right.
be great. So you're
Yes.
gonna do that today with Steve. Tell us what's next for branch. It sounds like it's all 50 states, world domination, every agency offering branch, every agency crushing it, putting into their glove box platform. Did I miss anything?
No, you did not. The states being the number one focus. You know, if we were thinking about what the market would love to hear and see or hear. But you know, product expansion, right? As I mentioned, condo, motorcycle, getting those launched. And so trying to do those simultaneously or at least together is really tough because, as you can imagine, you asked about California and Florida. I mean, that's been
Yeah.
really hard on us.
Yeah.
New York as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, those I would say are the big asks right now to get the product, get us some differentiation there.
Yep.
Or if you want to call it the iteration off the, you know, the main product that we launched. But yeah, those are the big things. And then, you know, just like anything, when those states launch, we'll try to get some good agents out of those states and build it from there.
Boom.
Is there a list of upcoming states or ones that you could share here?
Yeah. You know, Oregon's really, really close. I know Montana's not too far around the corner. I can actually pull it up really quick, but
And we'll post the link on the podcast where they can go to look up the states you guys represent.
Yeah.
So if you're an agent and you don't represent branch, A, you're behind. B, you're
Yep.
missing premium. And C, please contact them immediately.
And
So,
D, if you have glove box, you're going to benefit tremendously with
mean,
the two.
now we're
Changing businesses. Now we're.
I know.
we've got our own business now.
Well, I've already been doing that. That's what I do on Friday
I knew
afternoons.
it. I knew it.
I knew you weren't at bowling club like you said.
All right, Steve.
Thanks,
So
Steve.
Do the questions.
some hard-hitting questions for you. Not quite as hard-hitting as the Skittles Starburst question, but let's start here.
Close.
All right, man. What are you listening to, and what do you listen to it on? What streaming service?
oh man, like I'm terrible at that. But I'm an Apple Music guy.
Okay.
I wish I honestly, you're one of the few podcasts that I've watched, right? You know, so I'm not big into podcasts. I'd love to do more of it. but I'm also a country boy. So
right.
country music for me.
Right.
Taylor Swift it is. All right, cool.
So I assume you didn't listen into the new Drake album that dropped last night.
I don't mind Drake. I like Drake.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
What are you saying? You didn't know this?
Here's the deal.
Oh, here's the deal.
I'm officially old.
I don't
What
want to get
happened?
involved in this line of questioning.
I have to go.
This is getting, but this is important.
Here's the problem.
This is a problem.
This is a problem. Drake put out now a second R&B album
Might have been his third, man.
in a row.
It's not. There's no.
There
hip-hop
is
on
a
it?
single
Do you know
hip-hop
that
song.
GIF where it's the garbage man that just throws the garbage all over the street? That's Drake's new album.
Well, that's just what he's doing. That's his thing.
Throwing
Now.
it
Nobody wants to hear it from
I
him
know.
anymore.
Well, he
I wanna
obviously has
meet-
an audience.
I want to meet his fan base that wants to listen to Drake R&B because I don't want it.
Where's him and Lil Wayne? I want that back.
I want that back
I
too.
want it. I want it in my life. Anyway.
There's
I
one
like-
song called
I like
Sticky.
Drake.
It's good. That's it. It's one hip hop song.
And there's one with 21 Savage.
Yeah.
And the only reason why it's
Jimmy
good
Cooks.
It's because 21 Savage is in it. That's the
only reason why it's good. Anyway.
All
I
right.
digress.
Always.
Yes.
All right, Steve. What are you reading right now? I know you already talked about this before we started clicking record. Tell us what you got. Look up above your shoulder.
Yeah, let me see which one.
Yeah, look at it.
Yeah, I gotta make it up. No, we did. The most recent book I read was from the Arbinger Institute around the inward-outward mindset, and we actually just did a leadership course for all of our managers or anybody in the organization that was leading people. And it was really good. And actually, I should say I read it a second time. And so that would be my most recent read. I haven't started a new book in a few weeks. And summers, I don't know how you guys do it, but summers, reading books is not, it's really hard for me.
Yeah.
I read the first chapter and then I go, oh, I know what this book's about. And then I never
Inside Out was the book title. They made that into a movie, right?
Yeah,
Which one?
Inside Out.
Oh, yeah. God, I hate that movie.
that's how
It's a wonderful movie.
A
That
lot.
sucks. Nice.
All right. Who are you cheering for? Could be anything. It's open-ended on purpose.
Obviously, the Buckeyes are a given. So,
I can't say that, right?
No,
that doesn't count.
Colorado Avalanche. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the Buckeyes, September 3rd, having that first game against Notre Dame is really
Ooh, Nick Ayers. What's up? Every show. He's a big Notre Dame guy.
yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm a big fantasy baseball guy, so I get
Interesting.
kind of player level there. Fantasy football as well, so I get pretty excited for that. But I'm not an NBA guy. I used to be. Used to love the NBA, and I faded. I didn't realize this really hit me, guys, last night when I found out the next morning that the Warriors won. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I turned it on when it was over.
There
You're
we go.
killing me.
Yeah.
Kids.
I didn't even know it was a closeout game.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like 4 minutes left. I was like, oh, they're about to win the
I
championship.
tried to turn it on
Why
and I
is Steph
forgot.
crying?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah, I
is
was
he crying?
like, what is his deal?
Is Steph the GOAT?
Yeah.
Is Steph the GOAT?
No.
Come on.
But he's
the
top
Warriors.
5.
Of the Warriors.
Steph is top 5 of all time now.
LeBron or
Is he
Steph?
top five?
LeBron or Steph?
I go
Steph
Steph.
top five?
Yeah, I go
Steph's-
Steph.
Yeah, he's right in there.
I'd put him in there.
Well,
take-
stop 10 for
I'd
sure.
put him on my team.
I go top 5.
I'd put him on my.
I put him on. He's got
Put
4,
Curry
right?
in the top five.
I would.
Yeah, if you were gonna put a
Best
5
shooter
together,
ever.
you'd have
Best
to have
shooter
him
of
on
all
your team.
time. He's changed the game of basketball. He's why I try to.
I would, yeah.
All I do is go shoot from half court now. That's all I do. I go to the gym. I shoot from half court. I don't make a thing.
It looks good, though.
I
It's
mean,
fun.
if there was ever a guy that truly, his range starts when he walks in the gym,
Yeah.
like he's legitimately that guy.
Yeah. He's that dude.
Don't get me started on Draymond Green. I hate, but he has 4.
He rubs Invisalign.
I mean,
though.
Iguodala got his, 5th? 4th?
That's gracious.
We got something in common there, Andy.
Yeah.
Last one, I believe. Who are you investing in?
I believe it's what?
what are you investing?
What are you?
Who,
I mean, you could be
what,
investing in
You
people.
could, yeah, I guess that's
Where?
in people?
Where are you investing?
Is this a personal question?
Oh, man. whatever you-
Starburst. I'm investing in Starburst.
Because I'm not. My money is not going anywhere.
How's your hippo investment looking?
Yeah.
He meant lemonade, is what he.
No, I meant both. Lemonade.
Did you say Metro Mile? I thought you said Metro Mile.
Oh yeah, no, it's funny. I could, I try not to get too deep in the topics of the economy, but my wife and we just bought a house last year, and she wanted to wait a couple years, and I tried to convince her, like, these rates have to correct at some point, right?
Yeah.
And they're not. This could be the lowest of our life. And so, convinced her, and she looked at me like a month ago, and she said, "You were actually right." And I was like, "Man, you guys want to frame
Will you
that,
say that
right?"
again?
Yeah,
Just the way
I'm gonna
you
get my
said
camera
it.
out real quick. Hold on,
Just the way you said it.
1 second.
Everyone loves the battle of the interest rate. What's your interest rate? That's like definitely an adult.
I'm gonna make that my
LinkedIn profile
rattle.
title.
Yeah.
My interest rate's 4.25.
What a loser.
I'm at 2.8. No, I don't know what I am.
I think
So
it's-
yeah, it's I don't. I think you can always stick with the FANG stocks, and they'll come around and do that, right? The big stuff, but I think there's an opportunity to buy this dip. And you could average down today. I think that's what my advisor is
sitting
doing
today?
now. It's kind of averaging down.
Not bad.
All
Let's
right.
have a look at the
It's
bloodbath.
not bad.
So is it still called
Is it not
Fang?
bad?
Is it still called Fang? Because Facebook's meta now.
not bad.
So is it Mang?
Man.
Steve, one last
Is
question.
that what
This-
they do now?
Yeah.
This is more for me because I asked this to every guest and I'm on the hunt. Do you know any Dogecoin millionaires that you can refer me to? I want to meet these individuals. I am on a hunt.
Cuban and I aren't friends.
See, Elon got sued for the Dogecoin pyramid scheme.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, really?
Yeah. So
They'll get sued for
whatever.
anything.
Yeah.
They're Dogecoin millionaires. Well, we're suing Tesla.
We
so
are.
yeah.
Yes.
they're getting a letter. They are getting a very sternly written letter. Steve, they have Glovebox written on their website.
It's all over.
Oh, really?
It's hilarious. Yeah.
And they're
Where
promoting
you can upload documents.
Yeah.
When I picked up my car this week, I was like, just so you guys
great.
know, I'm going to be owning this place
Yeah.
here soon.
Might as well put my name up
You
there.
guys blew it.
We'll see how that plays out. TBD. Steve,
let me know.
we appreciate your time, man. I know
Yes.
you're busy with
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
the Series C. Congratulations on unicorn status. I think you guys are one of the first unicorn players. I think Hippo went unicorn, right? When it comes to the independent channel of insurance, you guys are one of the few.
Yeah.
So you're in a very select club. We hope to be there someday, following your guys' footsteps. But hey, we appreciate the time. Keep crushing the independent channel and doing what you guys are doing because it really is fucking phenomenal, man.
Yes.
What you guys have.
Thanks for your
So,
work. It's doing great things.
Next time we'll fly out. You guys golf? You guys actually enjoy golf, or was that all
Yes.
joke?
I love
I
it.
enjoy the beers. Golf is secondary. So, and then I drink tea, apparently,
With the queen.
After golf.
Yeah, with the
Got it.
queen.
Hot tea.
Yeah.
like a hot
I
toddy.
appreciate it, fellas.
Yes. Thanks,
All right, brother.
Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Talk to you soon.
Have a lovely day.